So today I'm asking, who is your favorite artist of all time and why? I feel like this is just a really interesting question to kind of gauge where everyone's music taste is at. Obviously, mine is Mariah Carey. So basically, the way that I got into her music is I always liked the songs that I heard by her, right? But I never thought, like, oh, I should get into her discography. And then she released the Oh Santa remix with Ariana Grande and Jennifer Hudson. And I love Ariana Grande. I've been listening to her from the start. And I really enjoyed it, and I saw people on Twitter saying how good her discography was. So with those two things put together, I was like, you know what, I should finally get in her discography and see what it's giving. And I literally remember the day, December 17th, 2020, is whenever I listened to my first Mariah Carey album, which was her debut. And then I listened to Emotions and then Music Box. I even got some of her albums for Christmas. Like, I think I got Rainbow for Christmas, The Emancipation of Mimi. Like, I was just hooked ever since then. And so, I've done a lot of research on her. I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable about her. There's things that I can definitely learn. And that's why I like having friends who are a little bit older, because they can kind of tell me what it was like during the time, or just share with me certain facts or interviews and stuff like that. So there's a lot to learn. So that's kind of how I got into her in the first place. And why is she my favorite artist of all time? So it's a lot of reasons. Number one, I just love her voice, obviously. Like, she is such a talented singer. I love everything that she can do with all the riffs and runs that she can do, her agility, and just how fast that she can move in between notes. Her range, having a 5 octave vocal range, is absolutely insane. I love her musicality, especially when she did like the rendition of You and I by Stevie Wonder. That was absolutely incredible, and just the way that she made the song her own and incorporated the whistles and the lower register, which is very underrated for her. So I love what she's able to do there. Her vocal layering, especially on an album like Butterfly, and the way that she stacks her harmonies and all the different things that she can do with her voice. And then, of course, you have stuff like Emotions with all the whistles there. And so there's just a lot to like about her voice. I think she has an excellent tone as well. And so she's just incredible as a vocalist. And I feel like I was really able to appreciate the art of singing by getting into Mariah Carey for sure. And if you ever see people try to cover her songs, it's actually a disaster, because her songs are just that hard to sing. And people don't really give her enough credit for that. But just the art of vocal production, the art of vocals, it really always go back to Mariah for me. She's my number one singer all time. Another reason I really enjoy her is because of her songwriting. She has 19 number one hits, and she wrote 18 of those, including All I Want for Christmas Is You. The only one she didn't write was I'll Be There, which was a cover of the Jackson 5. But I mean, writing hits like All I Want for Christmas Is You, which is a song that I always loved my entire life, by the way. I'm just a festive person. Fantasy, Always Be My Baby, Honey's a great song, Vision of Love, Love Takes Time, We Belong Together, like, just really stacking up the hits. And then she also has a lot of great deep cuts as well. Like, 4th of July is definitely a favorite for me as well. So that was a great moment in discography. Outside, as a biracial person, I can definitely relate to that, especially with my mom being white, my dad being black. So I kind of relate to Mariah in that way, and I kind of get what that's like. Though our experiences are like a little bit different in regards to that because of the time and stuff like that, but I really related to her because of that as well. And so I just think that Mariah is super smart as a songwriter. Like, if you also go to the Memoirs of a Perfect Angel album, she's just so funny on the album. She doesn't take herself too seriously, and that's what I like, is that she has a lot of great hits, she has a lot of great deep cuts, and she just really takes making an album seriously. And she has a lot of songs kind of just about getting through things and having to overcome a lot, like Through the Rain, Can't Take That Away is one of my favorites. I love Butterfly, the song, that's one of my favorites. Make It Happen was incredible. So a lot of her songs just kind of speak to me in terms of that, and I just think that they're beautifully written. She has a great vocabulary as well, using stuff like Rhapsody. The Roof was a really great example for the songwriting, as is the entire Butterfly album. She also got some production credits under her belt as well, and she co-produced the entire Emotions album. She has some directing credits under her belt because she directed the Fantasy music video, and she also did Always Be My Baby, which a lot of people don't know. So that's kind of the sum up for the music, and like I said, being biracial as well, kind of see myself in her, so it's really nice to have such outstanding representation, somebody who actually gets it. So I appreciate her for that. And then, even just outside of the music, I just really like her as a person. I like her interviews. I think that she's super funny. She has a quick wit about her, and she seems to be very humble as well. She always has adapted to the time. She knows how to do a little funny meme. Like, she just kind of has that little bit of an edge to her, a little bit of a personality to her that I've always really liked. Like, Mariah has a lot of substance, and people just think that she's a diva because they just watch like a 5-second clip of the interview. They don't watch all of her interviews. And, she does so much for the fans, and that's also another reason that I really like her as well, is just because she's going out of her way to talk to us and engage with us. And I was thankful that she even came onto my Twitter space And thank you to everyone who promoted that with me at the time, because that was certainly a group effort to do. And I'm just so happy that she came on to just talk to us for a few minutes. That really meant a lot. And so I just feel like I have a lot of good things in my life because of Mariah. Like, I literally made friends with people because they love Mariah. And if I had to distill myself down to like one artist where it's like, you know their music, you kind of know me a little bit, I would pick Mariah. She's my number one favorite of all time. And like, those are the main reasons that I really like Mariah, why her music really speaks to me. And I just think she has a super solid discography as well. Not a bad album. I love the Christmas stuff, of course. Like I said, I'm a festive person. Butterfly is my favorite album of all time. So that's kind of what Mariah means to me. And so that's that. But let me know down below in the comments, who is your favorite artist? How did you get into them? And why? I think this is something that's kind of interesting to see where everyone's head is at, and people have different reasons for why they have someone at number one. Some people it's a discography thing, some people it's a personal thing, sometimes it's a little bit of both. So let's continue that conversation.